Well, hello, ladies. Thank you for joining us this evening. First, we want you all to introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, your name, where you're from, and a little bit about the work you do. We'll start here.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Jeri Hilt. I have an environmental intimacy initiative called WHET, WHET, and we focus on the Black, Indigenous, feminine consciousness. And so, the promotion is connection with the land, and we do that a number of ways. Art production, mixed media art production, archival and conceptual photography for strategic visibility, as well as related and aligned research subjects. And I also use the platform to highlight other Black, Indigenous women regionally.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nana Kumi. I am what my friend Jeri here likes to call the rural Ghanaian Mississippian. My parents are Ghanaian immigrants, so I'm Ghanaian, but I grew up in Mississippi. So I am an artist. I am a folk healer. I am a memory keeper. I am a mixed media artist. I do a little bit of everything. But my work primarily focuses on telling the story of Black folks across the diaspora and on the continent. And I do that through my memory keeping work by really just driving home the point that Africanness is a consciousness. It's not about your proximity to the mainland or how far removed or how close you are within your African ancestry. It's the consciousness that we share that are indigenous technologies, which include being in harmony with nature, are the power and the wisdom that we all have within us. So any way that I can do that, whether it's through filmmaking, photography, storytelling, creating narratives, poetry, I truly believe in any medium necessary.
Well, it's evolving. If I were gonna keep that a short answer, I would say we are largely an agricultural society with an oil and gas economy. And unfortunately, we're facing a confluence of environmental crises, with one of the most extreme being the decimation of the coastal wetlands. We're losing wetlands moment by moment, for a number of reasons. Some of it is a natural erosion process that's exacerbated by fracking in the oil industry. We're living in the most extreme carcinogenic and air toxicity levels in the country, because they refine the oil and gas that they extract around our areas, more specifically in Black and brown neighborhoods and communities. We literally have the highest cancer rates in the country. In the region where my family is from, they are calling Cancer Alley. And I believe that term was coined specifically by the medical community. And now activists are using it as a call to action to identify the problem. I have complicated relationship with the term Cancer Alley, because I have been losing family members to cancer, and it's not the land that's the problem. And unfortunately, using that call to action seems to problematize the land, as opposed to putting direct accountability for releasing poisonous toxic gas into the air directly with the oil companies. So fossil fuel is the basis of our economy, and simultaneously it is decimating Black and Indigenous communities, specifically in central to rural Louisiana. My family's from the Chafalaya Basin area. It is the largest freshwater basin on the North American continent. And every 2 years, they try to put a pipeline through it that would further poison us all. And so usually, coastal communities in general, I'll let Nana speak for Mississippi and her regional access directly, but we are at the front lines environmentally, and we also are growing and producing at greater rates than many other regions in the country, specifically because we are the Deep South, and the legacy has been what it has been, right? The progression of different levels from forced labor to a slightly better form of forced labor in the South. Mm-hmm.
So the part of the landscape that I actually focus on is going to be around land and food justice in Mississippi. I actually graduated from Mississippi State University, which is one of the top agricultural schools in the country. And Mississippi alone is responsible for the most food per pound per capita in the United States. And so it doesn't really add up when we think about being these high producers, right, as far as agricultural goods, but that we are the state with one of the highest numbers of food insecurity and especially child hunger. And so we have a lot of beautiful, beautiful communities around areas like Utica, Jackson, up in Starkville that are doing great projects to help really eradicate these food disparities and create hyperlocal food systems in parts of rural Mississippi, specifically where I am in Natchez. We need a lot more support. We have one food garden in the entire town that has been going through its own progression. But Natchez is food apartheid. There are so many barriers to really getting whole foods, organic foods, and creating our hyperlocal system that we are really trying to work through in our work that I do, with my organization, Golden Alchemy, and a project, the Spirit in Our Roots, which is funded by NPN, the National Performance Network, which is where Jeri and I met and to collaborate. So as we really focus on how we can address the material and immaterial components of soil, which Natchez is known for having this really rich soil, which is one of the reasons why people like to grow there. There's just this deeper understanding that you can't just address the soil from the physical aspect of it. What is it that we're not seeing, right? What is really influencing the text that is the land, the text that is body, and how we are really engaging these disparities head on.
I would like to say it's a multidimensional answer. There's been a standard, similarly to your awardee and distinguished woman of the hour spoke. There's a standard in my family of growers, landowners, and producers, and simultaneously being significantly impacted by climate racism and environmental racism in the state of Louisiana. As a Black Indigenous woman with a Black Indigenous family for generations, about 4 to 5 generations now, we are literally losing land, and we're losing us in direct proportion to the land. And even some of the animals that are on the endangered species, really we're losing land, specific species, and us as well at similar rates due to directly to toxins, right, between land and water. Not to mention the fact that the land is actually falling away. So I don't have a choice, right? There's that part. And then also we do have a strong legacy of producers and resilience and advocacy and abundance and sustainable networks. Mm-hmm. So much so that we know that we can redevelop and strengthen these. It's just going to take some work.
Mm-hmm. My short answer really is this is spirit work for me. This is ancestral. We can go through so many economical, political reasons why, right, I would be doing this work. But I believe this to be my great work. It's the work that I'm here to do. I've known since I was a child that my focus was going to be around land in whatever capacity I could do that. But I will say the thing that really did catalyze that would have been 2020. So many folks were left not knowing what was going on in the world. We were losing folks left and right. And we know the numbers were disproportionately affecting Black folks. And so that really anchored a lot of new understanding around what it meant to be in connection with land, to be in connection with traditional healing remedies. And so from there, I used that information to share with my community to really help us grounded and really stay centered during one of the most difficult times we faced as a people, especially here in America, in places that tend to not be as visible, right, like the rural South. So this is ancestral work. this is what we do. This has also been in my bloodline for generations. We are generations of healers, sustenance farmers, fishermen, and those lineages never really got broken, which I'm fortunate to just know, so.
Thank you for asking that. I have some website transition at the moment, but I'm on Instagram as a Chafalaya_Fox. And it's a long word, but it's easy to identify because it is such pivotal ecology as a body of water on this landmass. But I'll spell it just for the record. ATCHAFALAYA_Fox. And also I'm available by email, just my name, Jeri Hilt, JeriHilt @gmail. And so you can find information on WHET via email, Instagram, and we'll have some new website availability.
Thank y'all for asking. So 3 great ways to connect with me. One absolutely would be on Instagram. The name of my platform is Golden Alchemy. So golden has an H with it because it's Ghanaian gold. So GHOLDENALCHEMY. That's my Instagram handle. You can email me at nana@goldenalchemy.com, and the website is goldenalchemy.com. Spreading the word, sharing the love is also really, really important, and just giving the work that we do, that we carry on our backs, all the love, support, and protection that you can think of is really one of the main ways to support us, because a lot of this work oftentimes can be, self-funded. We're just really working to just sharing that abundance.
But clearly we show up. We've been showing up. We're willing to show up. We're willing to show up with skill shares and resources based on our experiences. We're willing to show up in capacities of apprenticeship to learn and grow and connect with, all levels, right? Ag Noir sounds like an amazing organization. I'm so excited that you all exist, and to be exposed to what you all have been able to do in Columbus is so deeply inspiring. I mean, it's invaluable, just the actual experience. I can't wait to go home and tell everyone what I've been exposed to here, and hopefully build continuing connections between our communities. I am, both lateral and vertical, right? Literally, because we flew up north to come here, and I could never have anticipated how much I would be shifted and exposed to even showing up in a teaching capacity. So grateful for the opportunity.